2017 MK7. And this is the GTI Clubsport S. So this was only made in 400 units. And we got number 290. You got racing seats, like bucket seats. There's no back seat in it. And this is one of the models that I've always thought is one of the most delicate. The new one, well, they look good. They all look about the same. They have this classic look about them, all of them. Oh, that's rather used, this clutch. You can feel that. But you can also feel that this is an agile one. Really, it's got 310 horsepower, so it is upped a little in power. But these are real good track day cars. And you just sit in a perfect position in this one. And you got the manual gearbox with that little ball on top, which is just sculpted like a golf ball. So I think this is a bit of a flirt back to the olden days of Golf GTI. This is a form of an animal, and it's unique. It cost a little over 500,000 Swedish crowns when it was on sale back in 2017, but it was hardcore and it became a little special. This is such a popular car, this Golf, that when the GTIs was released and throughout their years, they just become a car that so many people want. They're just convenient, they're practical. This one isn't as practical, but this one becomes special. How does the gearing feel while we're on the motorway? Push it, there is good momentum, 310 horsepower. And it's still very soft. And of course you got some drive modes here if you want. We got it in comfort right now, there's normal, and then there's race. But I just like the seats, they are hard, not as comfy as the modern bucket seats are, which are both very firm, but at the same time well stuffed. This one is hard in its side and you are tucked in like it's time for business. This Alcantara steering wheel, just perfect. Perfect in size and a very good grip. And it's perfectly thin. It's just like in the Porsches. They have this perfect delicate feel of not being too fat, like in the BMW M cars or the Mercedes AMGs. I like it, but for my hands, they don't really fit. Let's set 0 to 100 in 5.8 seconds. Top speed 265 from these 310 horsepower. And it sounds good. There's some pops and bangs from the back, and that is just great. But on these roads, the brakes are just modulated well, and it is a fast car, and you can munch it on the higher gears, and it's quick and it's shifting. Really, really nice. And that's the thing about front wheel driven cars. They feel a little lighter, and they are a little lighter. This one weighs 1,318 kilos, so under 1,400 kilos. That is just great. Fast and really, really fun car, this one. So this weight really becomes a driver enthusiast type of car. Take this one on the track because it's light. That is just great. And having a front wheel driven car, that is even more of a challenge because you need to modulate that power and you need to know that how much power should I put. Yeah, consecutive bends here. I mean, this is even better than newer cars because there's so much more new technique and safety systems. All this technique, it weighs a lot, but this car feels a bit more analog in its light costume. And that sound is just great. I think it's modified in this, so it gets a little louder. Like it. But that's just the thing, you know, it can be a bit premature with all these pops and bangs, you know, at car meets. These are very popular cars. They put on different exhaust systems. But it is fun. When the car is light, when it is fast, then this is just great. It becomes such a fantastic ride. And don't you want that? Well, yes, you do. And a front-wheel driven car is always a treat. It's always a challenge. It's not like a four-wheel driven car you can let off and just push it and all the wheels put down their power. Here you need to modulate it a little. The brakes, they are powerful and you can put it in so well into the corners. Now this is a treat. This is a treat. It's not like it's understeering at all. It is just great. So they really fulfill this driving joy. I mean, just a regular Golf from its base is a car that isn't too bad. But when they get up to the GTIs, that classic GTI, I drove the MK1. You'll see that as a review later on. We were in Osnabrück in Germany, and that was just great. Still a lot of joy. Very easy to drive, but they have really evolved, and they still keep this real good classic feel of a hot hatchback. Because this Golf hot hatchback may be one of the most recognizable sports hatchbacks that there is. And this manual gearbox just sits so right. Feels short, but at the same time, it's comfortable. You need to do your own blipping between the throttle and as you change, but let's get some compression here. It's just there. And when a car is this light, you have such good control. It's almost like you get a bit too carried away sometimes, but it's there. And this chassis is just great in this Clubsport S version. So this is a fun one. And to the people who got this one, keep it, because this can be a collector's car.